welcome.
Hi.
Actually, I'll ask you to introduce yourselves before we start. But if there's anyone joining us, this is a continuous of the session 1, and we'll have a quick slide about OpenAir Cloud. So you can, if you just joined us, like I'm seeing a few people are, we'll definitely give you an intro. But let's start with Susan. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Susan Oslin, and I'm the program manager for spatial experiences at the OpenAir Cloud. I'm also an independent creator and run my own studio, UXXR Design, where I am going to show you what I'm building later on in this few minutes.
Yes, thank you. And Julia?
Yes, I'm Julia Viabel. I'm the CEO and creative director at Novabuy. We are an augmented reality studio and a digital art production house, and we specialize in outdoor world-scale installations, so perfect for the OSCP protocol and visual positioning systems. And in particular, we do focus on culture and heritage projects, so placemaking, space activations, and tours. And I'm going to be talking to you about one of the testbed projects that we've just completed, actually, in the last few months, called the AIDS Memorial Pathway.
And my name is Ali Hantal, founder and CEO of XR Masters. We are creating a spatial content management platform, and I'm also the senior testbed coordinator at OpenAir Cloud. Let me first give you brief information about OpenAir Cloud. We are a global nonprofit organization with a mission to support the development of open and interoperable spatial computing technology, data, and standards to connect the physical world and the virtual world for the benefit of all. And we are a US-based nonprofit organization, but we do have a branch in Germany, and with a NGI Atlantic funded project, we actually just recently got our new Unity client and a web-based 3D model storage, and working on an open source VPS. So you're hearing about Google VPS, you're hearing about Niantic, and what we're trying to provide the world is an open source VPS, and it's just started, it's in the works. And we are running testbed initiative now for our second year, and this testbed initiative is an ongoing and open effort to collect feedback from users, from developers, creators, local authorities, government agencies, and local businesses, and anyone who's interested, any stakeholder who's interested in open AR cloud technologies. And we have university campuses, campus partners around the world, high school partners, and local authorities, and we're always constantly looking for new partners. So if anyone is interested, please reach out to us. You can reach out to me, or you can send an email to testbed@openarcloud.org. As I told you, I have the company I founded, XR Masters. We have a spatial content management platform that is running on Augmented City VPS. So Augmented City is one of our member organizations and a technology partner as XR Masters, and we provide a content platform. For this system to work, we need to scan the location, and once it's scanned and VPS enabled, then this was in MIT Student Center. We did that scanning, and Susan and I actually were at MIT Reality Hack with awesome hackers, and we had the chance to introduce our platform, Open Spatial Computing Platform, to them. And you can see this was a previously scanned environment, not that one, yeah, this one, on the left. And if you are at a previously scanned environment, to be able to localize, you just need to start AR, and then if you have uploaded your content to our content database, you can pick that and place it on the real world and relocate it, resize it, and once you're done, you just hit place, and that object is now persistently located there. So anyone utilizing a browser application such as XR Master's browser application will be able to visualize that content, which is persistently there. And if there is any experience on it, if there's any interactivity, all users will be able to see the interaction and the results of those interactions. On the right side, I think I should go back, which is our newest addition to the content platform, is our Nfd Viewer. And this was last weekend at the Nfd Summit in Istanbul. The very talented artist Vera DG, actually, she had her exhibition at the summit. And you can see that her artwork is persistently being exhibited at the exhibition hall at the Nfd Summit. And I also would like to show you another slide, which is an AR Cloud multi-user game that happened in Taksim Square. And this was a game where users were asked to find 10 gift boxes and to open them and then activate 10 fireworks. And at every action they do, they were getting points. And the only thing they needed to do is to look at any building to localize. And once they're localized, they were able to see 60 plus AR objects, all at the same place at the same time. And they were looking at these, taking pictures, and you can see that there's no snow in the environment, but it is snowing, and this lady is going to now find a box and open it and gain points. And actually the winners won a round-trip ticket from Istanbul to New York from Turkish Airlines, and the Marmara Hotel behind that, those people was also a sponsor. Now, look at the environment, fireworks and everything, but this slide, there are two phones on the left side. The person is activating a fireworks, and the right phone also experience the result of it. So this is a multi-user synchronous AR cloud experience. And that's why it was such an interesting project in Taksim Square. Now, this was in a testbed in Turkey. Now, I would like to turn to Julia. And she did an amazing project.
With XR Masters and Augmented City?
Yeah.
Great. I need that there.
Please.
Yeah, I'm going to stand just so I can see the screen a little bit better. So as I mentioned, this is a project using the OSCP protocol. It uses traditional AR as well as the visual positioning system. So depending on what effect we were going for. And it's using XR Master's content management system and Augmented City's visual positioning system. I have to say this project, the AIDS Memorial Pathway, or commonly called the AMP, it's been an absolute just privilege and honor to work on this project. We've been working on it for about 1.5 years now, but this project actually dates to about 5 years ago. It is a new plaza that was envisioned by the residents of the Capitol Hill neighborhood in Seattle and the LGBTQ community. And the point of the project was to commemorate and create a place of remembrance and reflection for people that have lost loved ones to AIDS. And to date, there's been over 8,400 individuals who have died of AIDS in the state of Washington alone. So we like to think that the AIDS epidemic is over, but it is not. And that was one of the points of the project, is to create a place of memory and reflection, but also get that message out that AIDS, HIV is still a challenge. There's still no cure. There's great treatments, but also to help people connect with those treatments and understand the situation it is today. What was really interesting is obviously when the project was started, nobody foresaw COVID coming, and it ended up being a very timely launch to the project about 1 year ago, because much of the vaccine work and protocols that were developed for AIDS is actually what enabled the COVID vaccine to be developed so quickly. So it ended up being a highly relevant timing. So the project, as you can, oops, that's backwards here, hold on, sorry, let me go back. Oops, there we go, hold on. That is not the AIDS Memorial Pathway. There we go. Okay, so there's so many people involved in this project and agencies. So this is actually a new plaza that was built for this project by the Department of Transportation. This sits up on top of the new tram subway station. It's also part of the Seattle Park system and the King County Metro system. And so there's this gorgeous new plaza between two new residential buildings. It actually extends over into the north end of the park across the street as well. Lots of wonderful activities going on in this physical real world space. So there's weekly farmers markets, there's education and commemorations around AIDS, there's performance art going on and public art. The space is actually anchored by 4 real-world public artworks. One is still in progress over there that you can see on the left, but these are by very well-known and respected public artists in the Pacific Northwest. This piece in the middle is has become kind of a destination artwork, actually, that people are coming just to see this. It's very iconic. And it was created by Christopher Paul Jordan. Amazing concept behind this work, as well as all of these others. But a lot of the concepts were not very accessible to the public unless you could have information about them. So that was one of the goals of the project. It also includes this digital artwork called the Names Tree that we worked with the community members to create. This is actually a digital replica, although it was fully sculpted by our artists from scratch, of the Chinese scholar tree that sits across the street. It's the only tree left from the original design park design by Olmsted. And it's very meaningful to the community. It's been there over 100 years. And so it became kind of also a symbol of the park and the strength of the community. And so we recreated this tree digitally, and it is called the Names Tree because the names of the deceased are recited in perpetuity. And as each name is recited, a light ascends to the heavens, just like a Chinese lantern would be. So we have some video. AR is best shown in video, but I at least wanted to step you guys through. So I'll chat through the video to tell you a little bit more what else is there. So here we go. I have to say the steering committee just had such a vision ahead of their time for using technology, particularly augmented reality, on this project. So here you can see the plaza from across the street. That was the Chinese scholar tree. Here, these murals actually are all interactive. You can tap them to receive audiovisual stories about the history of AIDS and the community. All the stories were designed and voiced by community members. Here's the artwork that I was talking about. We call it the X, but it's called I'm Gonna Miss Everybody. The artist had this video that really kind of explicated the artwork. So what we've done in AR is insert that video behind the artwork. This was an artwork by Stormy Weber that is actually in an enclosed space and not accessible to the public. So we brought this out in AR, and the artist voiced all of the interviews that she did with those artists. And here is the names tree that users can place. And they have the opportunity to add a name and also see a light ascend to the heavens of a loved one that they've lost. This is really the product. It takes a village to do these projects. And I mean, over 100 people worked on this project, and there's been countless donors over the years. So I just really want to acknowledge that. So with that, Susan's going to come up and talk about a project she has in progress.
Hello, thank you all for coming here. And I really appreciate Julia. I was going to go second and she was going to go last, and then she suggested that she go before me to show what's possible because my project is still very much in the early gestation stages, but I'm very much influenced by the philosophy of the OpenAI cloud, and I don't know if any of you were in the first half of this session, but it's really about creating an ethical future that we all want to live in, that's inclusive and secure. And I have been a part of the Open Air Cloud since its inception, the first meeting in February of 2019. And as a UX designer, they talk a lot about a lot of technology stuff, but for many years I was in this conversation about open air cloud, visual positioning, and when it came time for me to create a project of my own because I wanted to build something, I was tired of talking about the technology. When the technology became available so that I could actually build something, I started this project at Pershing Square. It started as just wanting to test the technology, but it kind of developed into its own sort of life. So what the project is about is, also I just want to, the context I also want to state is that I'm coming from the perspective of a user experience designer. So I'm looking for a way to express myself and really think about creating experiences while also working in this technology. So the concept is Pershing Square Park. It's an augmented reality exhibit designed to delight, inform, and inspire collective action towards a regenerative water future. So obviously there's a drought in California, as there are in many places in the West and around the world. So Pershing Square Park, the location that I selected, has this history around a fountain. And you see a picture in the middle. This purple structure is actually a fountain. And you see there's no water in it. There hasn't been water in it for years. But it's actually designed to represent how water comes from aqueducts from other places in California and Colorado. And so there, the little spout water is supposed to be coming out. So the idea is that with augmented reality, I'm going to put water back in. And so this is the park as it looks now, right? It's not very attractive. It's pretty dead looking. And so this is a concept illustration of what I'm envisioning. Okay. I didn't know it was going to do that. Let me go back.
Maybe going
Yeah. So just, whoops. Okay. So I've been very fortunate in the beginning to get a lot of support from various technology partners, such as XR Masters and Augmented City, and of course, working on the open spatial computing platform. That what I was going to show you is that water, cascading water, which is pretty complex to do with shader. I don't know if you've ever worked in like water effects with shaders, but so I'm going to be working with Zebra.ai. And I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but they are a small company in Ukraine that have developed an AI physics-based water simulation. And so I'm very excited to be starting my test with them very soon when I get back. So what's really important to me about this project is actually having an impact on the behavior change and the way people interact and think about water. So I've thought a lot about the outcomes and the behavior change and how to actually create a very strong connection to the content with people. And I've thought a lot about partnerships with Home Depot, how I can measure not just interactions at the experience, but do they actually follow through and do what they said they were going to do? Did they buy the thing and did they get it installed? And LA has a very extensive rebate program. And can I tie into all of this? So I have really hard data about the impact that it's had. Just really quickly, so one of the concepts that I'm sorry I don't have a video on is how the Oasis grows. It's not there already, but as people come to the park and they interact with content and they learn and engage with these water-saving, that was a stopper on your shower, right? So when they learn about that and maybe they pledge to go get one, as they do that interaction, that's actually putting water back into the system, and that water will then allow the plants to grow. So as people come, the Oasis will grow, but they'll also have a collective experience of community, understanding that together is what's going to make a difference. It's not any one person. Upcoming is working with Zebra AI, and so the thing about Zebra AI, why I haven't been able to do tests on that yet, is because obviously physically based, it's very computational and heavy, and it's not something that's going to work on a phone. And I want this to be accessible to everyone. So when I get back from this conference, I'm going to be working with HoloLight, and they're going to be providing, helping me to get set up, and they do XR streaming, so that I'll be able to do beyond what the phone can do. And so these are technology partners that have supported this project up until this point. I was a VPS early developer at Niantic. I recently did a proof of concept with them. And what I wanted to say quickly, because I know we're running out of time, is this project is very much in the early stage. I have some proof of concept test videos on my website and YouTube, but I didn't feel they were really production quality to put into a presentation, but they are there. I'm looking for support from everything, because thank you, Julia, for allowing me to follow you. I think after her presentation, it's clear that these kinds of projects really take a village, and so I'm looking for my village. If you or you think anyone you know would have an interest in working on a project like this, I'm looking to build a team so that I can get funding. I've figured out the hard way that no one's going to give you money if you're just one person. So I have some people that I've met at this conference, and I want to continue to reach out to the community for, I need obviously creative and technical collaborators. Right now I'm doing pretty good on technology partners, but obviously sponsors and any kind of affiliate supporters are also welcome. So that's my contact information, and we have 2 minutes for questions. So for any one of us, please, thank you.
Any questions?
If you have any questions at all, please feel free to step up to either one of these great microphones.
And while that's going on, I would like to add on to one thing that we are at OpenAir Cloud. As you can see, we are technically very strong, but we have great creators like Susan and Julia in our team. So if you are a creator, if you are a designer, you're in an art studio, you don't have to be really only technology. Please come to our meetings, join us. And what I love about Susan and Julia's work is that they are putting value to the technology. And both of these projects are amazing, and we were really honored to support these two projects.
Thank you.
Any questions for us? I guess not. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, please. Sure.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Yashim. I'm from Holland, XR agency. My question was for, I forgot your name, sorry.
Me?
Yeah, for
Julia.
you. I was seeing the tree, and it was a replica of the tree that already existed. You were talking about VPS. Wasn't it possible to have the leaves on the actual tree, or was that a...
Yeah, so we actually designed that with the community, and we actually considered a few different options. We originally were actually using the VPS system to position that tree actually adjacent to the natural tree. the natural tree is probably actually not going to be there much longer. It's kind of on its last leg. And so one of the thoughts was by recreating a digital tree that ultimately it could go in the place of the current tree. What we found with just the state of visual positioning technology was that getting that exact can be a real challenge. We're getting there, but this project started 2 years ago and stuff. So that can be a challenge. What was interesting though is we ended up going, I don't want to say back to, but switching to a tap to place for the tree, mostly based on user feedback. So it created more of a sense of participation. So even though the instantiation of the tree is not that technologically challenging from an AR standpoint, it's using very reliable old-fashioned AR. From a user standpoint, kind of getting to what Susan's talking about, it was a richer experience for them to be able to place the tree and then obviously to be able to add a name as opposed to kind of just scanning the environment and seeing the tree. So I think that kind of shows this is very much, that project ended up being very much a hybrid of like pushing the limits of current VPS technology and content management systems and placement technology with traditional AR based on what user experience we were getting feedback on, what was more meaningful to them. So that was really what we were after. So
Gotcha.
hope
Thank
that
you.
helps. Yeah.
Okay, done.
Okay, no more
Okay.
questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.